This lesson is part 2 of section 9.2 on adding and subtracting polynomials. Today our target's a little different. We're going to add and subtract polynomials so that we can express perimeter. But first we're just going to start off with a review problem. Very first example says combine like terms and identify the polynomial by degree and number of terms. So this is similar to what we did in class. What we're going to do is look at this polynomial here, which I can just drop the parentheses with. But this second polynomial, since it has a -3 out in front, I definitely want to distribute that -3 to all three terms here. So I'm going to drop down the 4x squared minus 2x cubed. And then once I distribute that -3x squared, once I distribute the -3, it becomes -3x squared. And then distribute -3 to -x cubed. That's going to change that to positive 3x cubed. And then -3 times -1 here is plus 3, positive 3. Okay, after this I'm just going to go ahead and combine like terms. Now what we talked about in class was that we can kind of speed this up a little bit if we look for the highest exponent first. So right away I noticed that I'm going to look at the cubed part, the -2x cubed and then positive 3x cubed, and I'll simplify those first so that I can just go right into standard form right away without having to rewrite everything for a second time. So -2 plus 3 gives me a positive 1. So I'm left with x cubed then, positive 1x cubed. So these are done. And then I have a 4x squared and a -3x squared, so I type in 4 minus 3 to get positive 1x squared. Finally, that plus 3, I'm just going to drop that down. So please remember, I know you guys, it's really easy to make little mistakes on this because of the negative signs. So please remember to always circle or box the sign out in front of the variable of the term that you're looking at, because a lot of times students will type in the wrong sign or operation into their calculator. So use those little tricks because that helps you. I know kind of what mistakes are really common, so just remember to do that and you should be okay. All right, there's my final answer. Now it's already written in standard form. It's got 3 terms, 1, 2, 3, so I call that a trinomial. The degree on this is 3, so we call that cubic. And the lead coefficient here, there's an invisible 1 in front, so 1 is my lead coefficient. Okay, so now we're getting to the target of our lesson for today. We want to be able to use the idea of adding and subtracting polynomials to be able to express perimeter. Now remember that perimeter is just adding up the sides of whatever shape we're dealing with. So we go along the outside and we add up all the sides of the shape. Now, because the given sides here, it says the rectangle has sides of 2x squared minus 4x plus 1, and 2x plus 4, because these are polynomials and I would be adding polynomials, it's just an application of what we've already been doing. But we have to come up with the expression on our own. So we're going to find the polynomial that would represent the perimeter. So after we add these all up together, we're going to rewrite this polynomial, and that would be the perimeter. Okay? So I look over here at this diagram, and it gives me one side is 2x squared minus 4x plus 1 right here. Well, since it's a rectangle, I know that the other side here also has to be 2x squared minus 4x plus 1, but I don't want to have to rewrite this a bunch of times when I express the perimeter. So I'm going to take a little bit of a shortcut. Since there are 2 sides here, and I'm going to put that one side in parentheses, 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. Since there's 2 sides, I can put a 2 out in front to represent there are 2 of these side lengths. Okay, so it's a little bit of a shortcut. I don't have to rewrite everything out twice. Now the same thing goes for the other side length. This side here, 2x plus 4, has to be the exact same size as the other side over here. So I'm again going to do a little shortcut here, and I'm going to write 2 times 2x plus 4. And this expression now would give me the perimeter, which I'll just label with a P. So the perimeter here is this expression. And now, just like what we did in the last example, I use the idea of combining like terms after I distribute. So here I would distribute the 2 to all 3 terms here. So I get 4x squared minus 8x plus 2. And then for the second part, I'm going to distribute the 2 here to just the 2x and the 4. That would give me a positive 4x and a positive 8. And then from here, I'm going to combine like terms. Now this 4x squared is going to be the first term here, so I'm just going to drop it down because I see no other x squared terms. So I know for sure that's going to be in the final answer, and it's also my lead coefficient. And if I go down to the next term, -8x, I know I'm going to add 4 to that. So -8 plus 4 is what I would type in my calculator. Again, make sure you're always circling the sign out in front of that number, or in front of the term, I should say. So -8 plus 4 is -4 So we get negative 4x, and then finally 2 plus 8 would give me a positive 10. So there's my final answer here, 4x squared minus 4x plus 10. So this is the perimeter of this rectangle written in standard form. All right, that's the whole point of the lesson today. So tomorrow you're going to get a lot of practice with expressing perimeter with different shapes, not just rectangles. We'll try some triangles as well. Good job. I'll see you guys in class tomorrow.